Hello, stamping friends. Hi, Maria. So glad that you're joining me today for some crafting fun. I have a quick and easy project for you today. So, welcome. And if you're new here, hi, Vay. If you're new here, I am Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today I'm coming to you from Florida. But my vacation here in Florida is just about over. But I wanted to bring you this quick and easy desk calendar. So that's what we're going to make today. And this desk calendar would be perfect to give as a gift to your friends, your family, your coworkers. And if you do craft fairs, this is also something that you could quite easily mass produce. Hi, Judy from Cloudy, Iowa. Well, I'll be heading that way shortly, and I think I'm going to run into rain. But I'm glad all of you are here. You know you're watching this live if you see the live up in the corner. Otherwise, you're watching the replay. But either way, please say hello in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. I appreciate that. And first of all, as I mentioned, I'm going to be making a desk calendar, and I do want to give a shout out to another demonstrator, Colleen Light, because that is where I received my inspiration for today's project to share with you. Now, I did tweak it a little bit, so some of my measurements are different than what Colleen shared, but I did want to give a shout out to her. And I will have all the measurements in the description after the video for you. Plus, if you are a newsletter subscriber, or if you're not, just go ahead after the video and click that link in the description, and you can sign up for my newsletter. And tomorrow, Wednesday, I will send out a newsletter with a PDF tutorial for today's project. Plus, everyone who signs up new, the free little gift that I am providing for my new newsletter subscribers will also be for the month of October. It will be the PDF for this project for the desk calendar. So either way, you should be able to get the PDF for today's project. And also, if you, I'm having 12 Weeks of Christmas series, and this is exclusive to my newsletter subscribers. So each week you will receive a video and a PDF tutorial for a project. And this is week 5 of the 12 Weeks of Christmas series. And I've teamed up with two of my demonstrator friends, Connie Douglas from Grace Stamping with Connie, who lives in Canada, and Sarah Bullen from Handmade After Dark, who lives in Australia. And we are alternating each week a project for you. And again, it's free just to my newsletter subscribers. So again, if you're not part of that, go ahead and sign up for my newsletter, and I will make sure that you have access to all the previous 4 weeks of the 12 Weeks of Christmas, so you won't miss out on any of that. Okay, I think we're ready to do some stamping today. So I am going to turn the camera down, and we are going to do a little stamping. Okay. So we are going to use the Stamp with Love stamp set. And I'm going to be using Inked Botanical Designer Series paper. There's a lot more sheets and beautiful Designer Series paper than just what I have here to show you. But again, I brought this with me on my vacation here to Florida. And again, it's two-sided, so I did not bring the entire pack, but it is very beautiful. And while I think of it, I don't know, they are building a house in the empty lot right next door to where I am at. So if you hear any noise like hammering or anything, they're working on the roof and other things. So I hope they're not too loud. I am going to be using these mini calendars for my project, and they come in a set of 10, and you can order them online from tailoredexpressions.com, and tailored expressions with an s.com. I can't remember. They're not real expensive. So here's one that I have. The front sheet is gone, so you can see. And so again, there are many little tear off calendars, and I bought them online, and they come in a set of 10. All right. Well, you want to see the project, I'm sure, before we get started. So I will show that to you, and then I will also share two other calendars that are a little bit different at the end. So here's the calendar, and I use Calypso Coral, and I use Designer Series paper from the Ink Botanicals. We're going to use different colors for the one that we're going to make today. But I did want to show you that this will fit in an envelope. So our regular Stampin' Up! Envelopes, if you would maybe want to send this calendar to someone, it fits very nicely in an envelope. So, you can give it to someone, but if you want to mail it, then you can mail it to them. Okay, let me show you how quick and easy this is to make. So I'm going to be bringing in Lost Lagoon cardstock, and this is 8.5 by 5.5. So I'm going to do a little scoring, and I'm going to bring in our trimmer. You could also use our scoreboard, which I love our scoreboard, but I don't know that everyone has the scoreboard. But I do know if you craft, you're going to have some type of a trimmer, right? So therefore, I want to use this. So I am going to bring in my cardstock, and I'm going to turn it so I have the 8.5 is across the top. So I'm going to score it on the long side. So I'm going to put the long side, the 8.5, at the top of my trimmer. And then I'm going to score at 1/2 of an inch. Of course, you always want to be careful you don't pick up that cutting blade, right, and use it. And then I'm going to score at 3.5. But again, all these measurements will be in the description. And then I'm going to score at 6.5. So I have to bring out my arm of my trimmer. And then I have one more scoring to do, and that is 7.5. So again, you're scoring on the long side 1/2, 3.5, 6.5, and 7.5. Okay, so I'll move that out of the way. And then I'm going to fold on this line. I'm going to fold it up and bring in my bone folder. Then I'm going to fold the 1/2 inch. So I folded it like this, then I folded the 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to turn this around, and you have 2 score lines left. So this bottom one, I'm going to turn it. I'm laughing because I did so well before when I was practicing, right? So I'm going to fold it up, and then I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to fold it back. Okay. So, okay, I know what I did wrong. Okay, sorry about that. Let's start again. Okay, we have 2 score lines. That's true. But what I want to do, the trick is fold the first one. So fold the score line's on top. So fold that over. There we go. Fold that over. I've made like 6 of these. Then take this one here and fold it back. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more time. So you have you fold it up, and then you fold, then you turn it over like this. You have 2 score lines. You fold it up on that top score line, and then you can fold this back. All right, now we have it. Now I'm going to bring in some tear and tape, and I'm going to put tear and tape on this 1/2 inch. So notice that I have it folded down. So I'm going to put tear and tape right here. Now what I am going to do is I'm just going to kind of estimate, and then I'm going to place it right here, and I'm going to try to make that in a straight line. And then I'm going to use my bone folder, and it's okay if you didn't get it quite to the edge. And if you get it over the edge, you'll want to cut it off. And I'm going to use the tip of my bone folder to take the topping of the tear and tape off, but you can most certainly use your your fingers too. Okay, so now I am going to bring this is where it has a tear and tape, and I'm going to put it on the edge of this right here. So I am going to maybe turn this around. So I'm going to take the edge of this, and I'm going to put it right at the top of here, and I have the sticky part here. If you can see that. So I kind of like to just get this one edge down, and I like to take my time because I want it to be even. There we go. You can kind of give it a good burnish. And then this is your base of your calendar. So it is that simple, and it has, here's this, and it stands up just like that. Okay, so I'm going to lay that aside, and then I'm going to bring in the other pieces that we need, and we're going to start with basic white. And this basic white is 5 3/8 by 2 7/8. Now, if you are math challenged like me, then that would be 5 1/4 plus 2 marks on our Stampin' Up! Trimmer. And the 2 7/8 would be 2 3/4 plus 2 marks. Okay, and then we're going to bring in Lost Lagoon from the Ink Botanical Designer Series paper. And this measures 5 3/16 by 2 11/16. I don't normally use, 16ths, but again, if you're math challenged like me, that would be 5 1/4 minus 1 mark and 2 3/4 minus 1 mark. And I would like to thank my sister, who is not math challenged, who I called and helped me with these measurements. All right, I'm bringing in Lost Lagoon cardstock, and this is going to be for the back of our calendar. And this is 2 3/8 plus 3 1/4. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to add this to the backing, because that way it'll give some time for it to adhere really, really well. So do I have any? So if I have any math challenge crafters, hopefully that helps you. So I'm just lining this up, and you just have a little bit of an edge that will show. And then you can take your bone folder, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring just some ink pads and just lay on top of that to give it to adhere it a little bit better. Then I'm going to go ahead and adhere this Designer Series paper on the basic white. And of course, you could use any designer series paper that you wanted. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and hang, just kind of touch that right there. Hold it down and get it. And I need to move it over a little bit. So I'm just kind of getting that lined up. And I think that looks fairly straight. Could have went just a little bit more to the left. We'll see if we can get that fixed. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to bring in the base of our calendar, and I want to turn it this way because where we added that adhesive, that's a seam. So you want this to be in the back. So you want our seam to be back here, and then we're going to work on the front. So the seam that we glued is back here, and then we're going to work on the front. And what we're going to do is that in just a second, we're going to adhere this on the front of our calendar base. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to ask you a question to help me, because so later I'm going to either use the iridescent pearl basic jewels for this calendar, or I'm going to use from our in color dots. So I would probably use the yellow, I think, don't you think? So, or the gray. So let me know what you think, gray, yellow, or whether the pearls. So you can be thinking about what that. And I'm going to then pick up our little calendar, and we're going to add adhesive, and we're going to line it up right here on the right hand side. And again, I have a couple other calendars finished that I will show you. And then I'm going to line this up on the right, and I want just a little bit of the Lost Lagoon Designer Series paper showing, and I'm trying to have the same amount above and below the calendar. And then I can press that down, and again I can turn that over, and I can use my bone folder. I'm hearing pearls. That sounds good, Vay. And Maria, you're agreeing with that too. So that probably will be what, we'll see what else we have. Now I'm going to add adhesive, and then we're going to put this on the card base. Then we just have a little stamping to do. So again, this is just such a quick and easy project. And who doesn't need a calendar on their desk or somewhere? I always like to have one on my desk. Okay, so then I'm just going to line this up. And you'll have just a little bit of that Lost Lagoon, and then a basic white layer showing, and then your designer series paper. And you can even take your bone folder and go in here to give it a good, so here, well, I'm going to lay that aside, and then I'm going to bring in, this is a Deckled Circle, so you could use a 2-inch punch, if you have a 2-inch punch, or a Deckled Circle, or any kind of a, it wouldn't have to be a circle, you could use a square, but I'm going to be using Memento Black ink, and for a stamp with love, I'm going to be using Love You Always. So I already have that on the block, so I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. Sorry about the shaking. And I'm going to put it right in the middle. There we go. Put the lid on that. Then I'm going to bring in some dimensionals, and we're going to pop this up. On the front of our calendar. So we will place this Love you always. And now let me look and see in the chat what you've decided for the and that is true, Judy. It can be very personalized for the recipient. I agree, Vay. It would be a great little gift for your neighbors, for the ladies in your neighborhood. Okay, it looks like Maria, you're agreeing with Vay, pearls, and Vay says pearls, so we're going to go with pearls. Okay. And I'm glad that you went with pearls because I think the other ones I'm going to show you, I used in color dots. So this would be great. And I'm going to use the basic pearls come in two, small and large. For this project, I'm going to use the large. And I'm going to put one up here. Put one down here. Now I'm still going to use the large. And I'm going to put one right there. And I could even add another one if I wanted to. So here is our project. Love you always. It has the mini calendar. It stands up just like that. And it was quick and easy, right? So here is the one that I used, Calypso Coral. And this one we made together, I used Lagoon. But when I was practicing, I used some retired designer series paper because I'm sure I'm not the only one that has retired designer series paper in their stash. So you can get that out and you can use your retired designer series paper, as well as I used a retired Ride the Range, and I put let's see, I used Take Time for the Simple Things. I thought that would be a perfect sentiment for a calendar because I think we all need reminders sometimes to take time for the simple things. And so this is the calendar I made with that sentiment from that retired Ride the Range stamp set. And then I used the in color dots. And then my last one I want to share with you, I decided to add, I went with the same sentiment from Stamped with Love, but I decided to add a little bow. And yes, in that ribbon is retired, but you can use what is current, or retired, whatever you have in your stash. So here I have, so they just set up so nicely. And here we have 4 different mini calendars, but they're all made the same way. And what I like about it is that it also fits so well. If you want to mail it, it fits in an envelope, right? So thanks, Maria. I'm glad that you like the project. And yes, look for those little calendars. In a future class would be excellent for you to use those in, and make as gifts too. So what did you think? Did you like the quick and easy desk calendar today? I sure hope so. Let me know in the comments. And I hope you'll give this project a try. And it sounds like some of you are thinking about it. So that is great. If you aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Somewhere I have a little button that, how you doing? Oh, there we go. So just subscribe by clicking that subscribe button. I appreciate that. And if you're not signed up for the newsletter, do that so you can receive the 12 Weeks of Christmas series as well as the PDF tutorial for today's project. All right. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to spend with me crafting, and I hope I've brought some inspiration to you. Thanks, Maria. I'm glad that you like the project, and I hope I've inspired you to do some crafting today. So I will see you next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central. Have a great week. Take care, and bye for now.